look, as a doctor, I'm like, man, I want to cure your problem. Because then you'll get out of my face. I'm tired of your problem. Okay. I don't like your problem. It's really not your problem. It's another person's problem. You're just you and you're fine. Right. And it's like this. No, 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 doctor. We're managing the conflict because you're worth so much more as a diabetic patient than as a cured person. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because it is. It comes to this. I look at it like this. Okay. Central authoritative bodies distributing reality to everybody, as opposed to everybody figuring it out for themselves. And you get it's upside down. We figure it out. It makes sense to you locally, and that's how we solve problems.
Yeah, the Greeks called it gnosis, praxis, and telecus. To know, to do, to become. You have to go through that visceral experience, and ideas don't have any ballast in reality unless it lives inside of a human being. And so people are proselytizing all these good ideas, but they're not living it themselves. And you, no matter what, as a human being, you still got to test it. Whether it's a drug, an herb, or a lifestyle choice, you got to see if you can fit it into your lifestyle before it even works. Maybe you work night shift and you can't get to bed in alignment with your circadian rhythms. And so we have to work out some kind of workaround around that, or start working you towards quitting your job and getting your health back.
That's right. I like your thinking, man. You're awesome. You know, like, wait, you're more awesome than you think you are. How about that? That's I like
I
it.
love that.
I just
I love that.
just like this. So try to live up to it. Good luck with that, right? I used to say this thing. I was watching these guys because I hang out with, I don't know, I'm just trying to meet people and people who think about good thoughts and try to be right. The fellows were thinking, it's like your future self beckons you forward, okay? And it's like it's around the corner, so you don't even know what it is. You can't understand your future self, okay? And it's like, but your future self's reeling you in, okay? Because your
Yep.
interests are gonna drag you around that corner. And it's like, okay, that's how we meet, okay? And it's like the the trick is this is like I used to say this to myself after I heard him talking about this was a couple days ago, okay? Used to say, if I could meet my 18-year-old self, I'd knock him in the head, man, try to straighten him out. And it's like, well, shit, that's what happened. I got my ass handed to me to get here because it's like, it's a rocky road to get across all the little bumps and hurdles. It's like dragging the record needle across. For those of you who understand what a record is, okay? All right. To show my age, right?
I love that. Cheech and Chong. Did you ever hear that one? Earache My Eye, when he's playing the rock music first thing in the morning, and his dad comes in there and he goes, and he's like, "Hey man, what are you doing? That was my record." You ever hear that one?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so everyone find that on YouTube that doesn't
Check
know
it
what a
out.
record player is.
Yeah,
Earache
that's it.
My Eye by Cheech and Chong.
I like it, man. And it's like, so it's like this. It's like that's what I've been my life has been to get to here is just dragging across the grooves because I'm like, okay, I not get hit. These are not hitting it. Right. I'm trying to get in the right groove. And it's like, but it's a lot of little activation. It's like just like getting dragged on the bottom of a pond, by the rocks, man. It's rough.
Well, I like to say that I failed my way to success, and that was because I really wasn't listening to the voice of God and my intuition that guides us all. And
You're right.
so once I cleaned up my gut and my diet and started to align myself more and more, and I was also in the fashion industry. I was an actor. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just chasing paper. And then when I realized, oh, all right, I have all these gifts. Let me align it in this way. And all the things that I thought I was doing, like having a classic clean look, dressing up nice, and all that stuff, it wasn't who I really was. And when I let it all hang out and I surrendered to God, my life exploded.
That's quite interesting because I like when Jordan Peterson came out, right? And he asked the question was asked him, and he's like, "Do you believe in God?" And he's like, "I hate that question." I'm like, "I hate that question too." I'm like, "Because it is." He said, "I try to behave in a manner that is consistent with the fact that I believe in a God that listens, is good, and acts in the lives of people." And I'm like, "The hell does that mean?" But I like the answer, so I'm like, "It means you pray." And I'm like,
Mm.
okay. So I said, I just started to, this is when I'm in the process of when I'm trying to figure out what happened to America. Okay. And I'm like, I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to pray like that's true. And then I got a back problem. Right. And I've been working on that for 33 years. And then it's been about a year and a quarter now since I started doing that. And my acceleration has just, I did more in the first 6 months, making myself better than I did in the previous 33 years. Right. And I'm like, well, that's a successful experiment. You don't go back on that. Right. And it's like this. And I figured out what happened to America. And it pointed at the first word of the Bible. And I'm like, that's all I need. How much? I studied Hebrew, for God's sake. And it's like, how about that, man? And it's like, wait, and I'll tell you this, because since you're the certified health nut, that's like, I like certified is impressive credential, by the way. I appreciate that too. And it goes like this. I'm like, I started doing CrossFit, okay? And my coaches, look, I'm 57. At least that's the best. That's the last time I did the math, okay? And I'm like, that's what I remember, okay? And it goes like this. My coach is 71, and he does everything I do, except better and more, okay? And I'm like this. So I just start doing the CrossFit. And the CrossFit is fascinating to me because what happens is, here's what the coach says. He's like, you're not going to get your breath, and you're going to be beating like a crazy drum, and you just have to get used to that uncomfortable circumstance and try to do more. And it's like, so in that condition, you are forced to recruit previously dormant elements of yourself and make them manifest. And I'm like, bing, that's fixing me so much faster. And like, I've been doing that for 6 months, and it's like maybe 7 months. And it's like, bing, right on the money, man. And he's a super square, clean. He's from Tucson. He's like just a super square, like a dude, man. It's like, I'm doing Olympic lifting stuff. I'm like, wow, in a million years, I never imagined myself in this place. And it's like, here I am. That's my future self that reeled me here. Right. And I had to get my ass kicked to get here. Right.
Yeah. You say about thoughts and prayer, because I didn't have really good prayer technology growing up as a kid. And then my spiritual teacher, Reverend Michael Beckwith, he likes to say our thoughts are our prayers. The thing, and then Deepak Chopra likes to say we have about 90,000 thoughts per day, and 90% of them we thought yesterday and they were negative. And so I'm all about, all knowledge is knowledge of self, knowledge applied is power, getting as much clarity on what it is exactly that I want from my heart's desire, not from my industrial age programming and the media. And then from there, I just speak that into existence, which is the rules of alchemy, which all the learned people from Da Vinci to Newton and everybody else before the industrial age school system used to study. And what is the first elements of the Bible? In the beginning, there was sound, right? Is that right? And sound affects matter. What are the first words of the Bible? Something to that effect.
The first word. This is interesting, man. You're making me teach you Hebrew, man. I like that. I want to thank you for the opportunity because I enjoy it that much. Okay. The first word of the Bible. Now, you got to recognize in the original Aramaic there are no word breaks and there's no punctuation. So it's just a bunch of letters connected together, and it's like, okay, they mean different things depending on how you connect them together and which ones how you separate them apart. And it's like the first word is traditionally is Genesis. That's the word. Okay. And it breaks into two parts, easily breaks into two parts. The first one is bra, which is to make. And the second word is shit, which can mean bush, thicket, or discourse in Hebrew. So look, make conversation. So it's like we separate ourselves from the conscious universe, and then we converse with it via all of our behaviors, which generate our potentials and our functions. And it's like we attract certain things and repel other things, right? That's all you need to know, man, because it says everything you need to know right there. At least that's my estimation of it.